Welcome back to The Morning Blend. With the closure of Joker's Comedy Club and Milwaukee Comedy Cafe, our city doesn't have a traditional stand-up venue.
I know. So our next guests are trying to keep the funny going in our city by producing live comedy events in every nook and cranny around town. Matt Campbell and Greg Bach are back from Milwaukee Comedy, which began as a simple website, but now they're responsible for at least 85 shows a year, which is a big deal. Good to see you guys.
It sounds like a lot when you say
that.
I know, right?
I'm tired, okay?
But you guys were doing, what, like 6 shows a month, and now you're upping it to 9 to 12, and you're using different venues around the city. Why was this important for you to kind of fill the gap with Joker's closing?
Well, a lot of it is there's just so much amazing talent in the city, in the state, all over the country that we're really trying to create a place for people to come out and enjoy comedy as much as possible. And it's incredible to be in a city of the size of Milwaukee and not have a lot of options like that. So that's just been our mission for so long, is to bring as many laughs to the city as possible. So our previous model was doing shows during the week, a lot of Wednesday, Thursday night type shows, and now we're shifting everything to Friday and Saturday nights, along with some shows on Sundays and things like that.
I was going to ask you about the scheduling format. So there was kind of an old way of doing things, and you're kind of trying to do something new, maybe to attract more people to some great local comedy, and I know you bring people in from the outside too.
Absolutely. We work with people all over the nation, and the wealth is fantastic, and we have great partnerships with the businesses, but also with the performers themselves, who, when they come and do a show with us, generally they want to come back and do a show with us because we just provide a great stage for them.
Yeah. We went to see your show on New Year's Eve, and it was just a blast. And I'll tell you, I think stand-up is tough because if you go to a show somewhere and you don't care for the comedians, you often don't go back. So it's important to have a really good lineup. And I'm sure the way you pair people or who you choose is difficult because you really have to be discerning about all different tastes in comedy. How do you feel like you're able to do that and produce like the right people and the right lineup?
To us, that is one of the most important aspects of putting a show on. It's not just about, hey, here's some funny people, enjoy it for what it is. It's about crafting that show in a way where each of those performers is a complement to the others. You're not seeing the same types of jokes. You might get a comic that does one-liners, and then a storytelling comic, and then, you know, somebody that brings more history into what they do. Things like that are interesting to watch, and when you can put those different styles together, it creates a really fun show. So for us, that is what's so important, is not just putting cookie cutter comics together that, you know, oh, it's a show, who cares? For us, it's everything to make that show the best possible show it can be.
Well, yeah, and the lineup is obviously really important, probably priority #1, but the venue too, I also wonder about, and the setup of that, because some are very intimate and close, where you feel like you're really close to the person performing. Some are a little bit more distant, but finding kind of unique ways to help the audience experience it is also probably part of the formula.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right. We bring out these comics to venues where it can be 40, 50, 60 people, but in that room it feels packed, and then we are in a room where it can hold 200 and it's still packed, and there's just that sense of like excitement, and we just really want to provide it for all different kinds of venues and work with those local partnerships, because that's the most important thing, working with local businesses, and we're very fortunate to have the excitement from them, therefore they really want the show to be a success. So.
What was the one I went to? Was that the Underground Collaborative?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. So that was like in the basement of the Grand Avenue shops, and that was pretty intimate. How many people are usually in that space?
That can fit about 100. That show had over 100. It was a standing room only, as you saw.
I know.
And I love that space. I mean, that's my venue, so I'm a little biased, but it's such a great venue for comedy because you can fit a decent number of people in there, but again, it's an intimate setting. You can feel the energy from the crowd as a performer, and the other members of that audience are able to laugh together in a really positive environment. It's really great.
Yeah. It is pretty cool. You guys are using that one every 3rd week, right? For weekend shows, and a couple others around the city. The thing I couldn't get over in seeing Shane Moss, who is who you had that night, he's a local guy who's gone national, he's got Netflix, he's got his own podcast, he's got all this great stuff. Then you brought him back here locally. He'll be coming again and on the show at the end of the month. But the ticket price was so unexpected. I'm not kidding you. I expected to pay like $80, and I think it was like 15 or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they were.
Although 80, wow.
I mean, don't raise them.
No, for you, we can make an exception. So.
You know, but that price that you guys do, what do they vary for most of your shows in price?
For us, it's mostly a $10 to $15 show. Most of our shows are $10 in advance, $15 at the door. For a special event like that, it might be $15 pre-sale, $20 at the door.
Right.
But we're trying to make sure, again, by having comedy in different venues around the city, it's a little bit more accessible to people. So you can do a show on the east side or do something proper downtown, do something, say in Tosa, things like that. But also the price makes it an easier decision for people to want to go out and laugh. There's a lot of things that you can do in town. We're affected by everything, by the snow, by the brewers, by the, you know, everything in between. So to be able to create something in the city that everybody can come out and enjoy, that is really important.
Yep. And they got a bar.
Right.
They got a bar.
Have a bar.
So
That's important too.
you need that.
Walking comedy, we got a bar. I like that tagline.
That's great. Where can people find out more about all the great stuff you have going on and see all the different places to find great comedy in the city?
Well, you can go to MilwaukeeComedy.com. You can sign up for our weekly email list. We send you an email on Tuesday letting you know everything that's happening over the next few weeks. We don't spam. You can like our page on Facebook, which is Milwaukee Comedy. Basically, social media overall. At Milwaukee Comedy, you'll find us, and you can keep up to date with what we're doing in the city.
Love
Thanks,
it.
you guys.
Great to see you guys again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.